Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 234th episode of Social Suplex's podcast about AEW with the proclivity for positivity. Welcome to All Things Elite. My name is Austin Sumwitz. I am the host of this lovely show, and joining with me, as always, is my good buddy and friend, Mr. Floyd Johnson Jr., my man. Less than a week away, like a little over a week away, actually, from Double or Nothing. And how you doing, man?
So, I want to be real. I'm doing great. Doing great. But that's not the highlight of my life right now.
Mm-hmm.
The highlight of my life, as it is for many males that have been playing PlayStation and have been, PlayStation 5 and have been suffering and in a starvation mode since 2013, July of 2013.
Mm-hmm.
We got the news. We got a date, July 19th.
Yep.
What is it called? ESPN?
EA Sports College Football 25.
EA Sports College Football 25 is coming to Yo City.
Yeah. You know what the problem is, too? July 18th falls on a Thursday. And also, you're going to get the deluxe, so you get it 3 days in advance, too. We're not going to have a podcast that week. It's just not going to happen. I won't be able to lock this dude down. So, he's going to be doing Dynasty mode.
So, this is the crazy thing. I'm happy that I can get it on Monday, because July 18th is my anniversary. So, we probably weren't doing a show that week anyway.
There's no way there's no way that game's coming out on your anniversary. Oh no.
So that's my anniversary. So yes, I definitely have to get the deluxe edition because I'm going to be a little busy on the 18th. So no, I can tell you, there's some things that I have, like, some people like, you don't know what you got until it's gone. Dude, I knew I was going to miss college football when they said it might be going away. And then when it went away, I missed it. And I have missed it every day for 10 years. I remember, and this is real, I was married to my first wife the first year that it didn't come out. And July and August, I remember like a conversation, her asking me why I was in such a funky ass mood is the word she used. She's like, why are you in a funky ass mood? And it was because college football didn't come out that year. She's like, can't you play the other version? Well, sure. Sure. The last year college football came out, something significant happened for me. Florida State won the national title. Jameis Winston won the Heisman.
Yes, he did.
So for 2015... I was supposed to get Florida State with a 99 Jameis Winston. I never got that game. It never came out. I never got that game. I was supposed to get the game coming out with a 99 number 5 from Florida State, Jameis Winston. I never got the game. The year my team wins the national title, that next game, after you win the national title, your team is basically OP. Like, everybody's like 90. So I'm ready to, beat the shit out of some people with Florida State. Oh, we're not going to have a version of college basketball football this year because of fucking Ed O'Bannon. Ed O'Bannon, dude. He's like 6'8" or whatever, dude. I would get on a chair and punch him in the face, okay? I am so happy that all these kids, my cousin being one of the top wide receivers in the country, I am so happy that they are getting paid. Don't get me wrong. I am so happy that they're getting paid. And I understand that we had to go without the game so they can get paid. But good Lord, I hate Ed O'Bannon for the last 10 years of my life. It's like literally. It's like I would say some of the great generations of people that people hate. I would say Ed O'Bannon's at the top of my list. I'm not going to say the other names because I'm not trying to compare him to any of those people, but just know the horrible people in this world, Ed O'Bannon's at the top of my list because he stole from me. He affected me. He assaulted me. He took my game away. So we're not going to go on this forever, but I knew that had to be the first thing I talked about because
I knew it was going to come too.
May 16th today. And every day that they talk about this game, because we have a date. And believe me, I was like, I was like, man, I'm so excited, blah, 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 blah. But I wouldn't believe it until we had a date. We got a date. They're willing to take money. So guess what? A game's coming. A game is coming.
Game's coming.
A game is coming. I am.
Yeah. I mean, huge moment for Floyd, of course. I just find it wild that, last college football game that came out, Michigan player on the cover. Newest college football game that comes out, Michigan player dead center on the cover. Even though I'm not the biggest Wolverine fan, I'm more so in the middle, and I went to Central Michigan, so I'm a Chippewa, and my team fucking sucked last year. So all I care about is that I can see little cute little McElwain on the sidelines. If I can see McElwain on the sidelines, I'll be okay. That's what I want to see. I
am excited that I get to take the UTSA Roadrunners, because that was the beauty of college football. I very rarely did a dynasty with Florida State. Florida State was already good. It wasn't hard to make them great. But the thing was, when you took Idaho or Wyoming and you made them a 6-star prestige team and they won national championships every year, that was odd because it couldn't happen. It wasn't going to happen, but you made it happen with the game. So my team that gets that designation this year, just because 2 reasons. Every year every July, June area, I go to a con in San Antonio called Superhero Comic-Con. And the guys that work the concessions are the players from UTSA, University of Texas San Antonio.
There you go.
And then I found out their fucking thing is called the Roadrunners. And I was like, dude, that's the coolest nickname in college football. So I am going to get to UTSA Roadrunners. We are going to run the spread option. You get the bone. You get into the bone. Something that, that's pretty much an antiquated style of playing football. But you know what? My team's going to run it, damn it. Because you know what? I'm excited. I mean, like, they give me that. And then we'll talk about our big story of the week. Then I get that. What kind of day have I had today?
Yeah, no, it's gonna be a lovely day for you, I'm sure, once you get to play that.
And I think college.
Then you're gonna, but then the problem is though you're gonna hate the transfer portal being in the game, and then all your kids are gonna transfer.
Yes, and then I think the trailer or whatever they said we're gonna get all the details.
It's supposed to drop, I think,
tomorrow.
Yeah, I think tomorrow. Yeah,
tomorrow. So it's like, let's fucking go. This is like second Christmas for your boy.
It is, and you're gonna go wild when that happens.
Dude.
And of course, we got a lot to get into with AEW as we get things on track. We got, like I said, a little over a week until Double or Nothing, and we had a pretty interesting Dynamite with some changes happening and some matches that also got announced and all that kind of stuff. So we're gonna get into everything AEW from this week. Before we do, though, we want to make sure you guys are downloading this fine show on YouTube Music or Apple Podcasts, wherever you choose to listen to us. Please give us a share with your friends, family, coworkers, whoever you wish. Leave a rating, a review, and subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. And you can also follow us at AT Elite Pod on Twitter. You can also follow at Social Suplex, who make this show possible. Check out all the other shows they have on their network. You will not be disappointed. And I am at Austin Sumowitz on Twitter. That's SZUMOWICZ. And Floyd is at Floyd Johnson Jr. on Twitter. Big news of the week. This was announced today, I believe it was. We got a massive slew of Collision shows that got announced for Arlington, Texas.
So they're doing a residency. So
yeah, literally a residency.
So it's basically Full Sail in essence. I mean, to the closest.
The Path to All In Summer Series.
Yes. And good Lord, you want to talk about Christmas like in May for me? Like, dude, I wake up and it's like. So if y'all don't know, I live in Oklahoma City. I often bring that up because I love my state. But I often consider, the Dynamite shows as like my home shows. You know what I mean? Like that are in Arlington and Dallas. I consider the Dallas area my home area. So when I found out that, I'm getting basically 6 TK Universe shows in a row, I'm like, sign me up. What are we doing here?
5 collisions and Death Before Dishonor.
Yeah.
It starts from July 20th and will go until August 17th, right before All In.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, man, that is crazy to me.
Yeah. So anybody who wants to get tickets for those shows, let me make sure I pull up the official link of when the pre-sale is.
Pre-sale is June 4th. Actual on sale is June 6th. I haven't got an answer on whether haven't got an answer. I literally asked directly if they were going to have like a 6-show package or something like that. Haven't got an answer on that. I will update. We have a few shows before they go on sale, so yeah, we will definitely get that information out. I am so excited. Even better, and again, I've said this on the show, my family lives in Arlington.
Exactly. It's not a hard journey.
I literally, I go down there, I stay with them, I come back in the morning. I don't even have to it's not like one of those things where I have to drive there and then drive back home at night. Dude, I just stay the weekend and I get to see my family. It's and I basically do that 6 weeks in a row or 5 weeks in a row because it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird because all the shows are live except one. So the 20th of July is Collision. It's just a live version of Collision. The 26th of July is Death Before Dishonor. That's the only non-AEW show that's a Ring of Honor show. 27th, live Collision. So, and then it's weird. I don't know what's going on that week. They probably have something at that arena because it's an esports arena. So they probably have like a gaming tournament or something that's there. They're actually doing a taping on August 1st. That's actually the only show I might not go to because it's actually during my shift during the week. It'd be weird to make happen unless I, drive there, go to the show, come back to my sister's house, work. It'd be really stupid. And then the 10th and the 17th are both live. And it's funny because the 17th of August, this is when Floyd goes into sicko mode. I go to Texas on the 17th of August, watch the show. I then drive back to Oklahoma, grab my stuff, get on a plane, and go to London because I'm going All In.
Exactly.
Sicko mode. Mode.
No one else is going to be on your level when it comes to this.
Dude, yeah. And so the arena, I found out, Esports Arena, it's, like I said, it's going to be like Full Sail, about 1,000. It'll probably be built for 1,000 to 2,000 people, depending on how many tickets they sold. And everybody's like, asking like, do they do that well in Texas? I'm like, dude, most people they're going to have a weekly show. It's like a TV taping. They don't generally have a problem getting a TV taping, and they'll probably paper a lot of tickets just to get people in there eventually, sure. And that doesn't matter. It's just, you're going to have this energy. Most of the people there are going to be hardcore fans. There are probably people that are going to go to their first show week 1 and probably be a hardcore fan by the last week.
It's very possible.
So, dude, I am beyond excited for this. Beyond excited. Imagine they're probably getting a little kickback from Arlington. Just thinking on how this is set up. Right. And, I think that will probably cost them less because, the collision trucks and stuff won't have to move. Not popping from city to city. This is a very much a fan looking inside at what costs could be and what the benefits. But dude, right. I was so fucking excited. Like I said, at minimum, I'm going to 5 of these shows. At minimum.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
So that's a huge moment for Arlington, and it's going to be a massive slew of shows there. I'm sure Floyd, like he said, it's probably going to see if he can make all of them happen. If they do some sort of a bundle, he's going to make that shit happen. Getting into now this week in AEW, we'll go through real quickly some of the highlights off of AEW Collision / Rampage, which ran on May 11th in Vancouver, British Columbia. The Collision portion of the show had a lot of really fucking wild stuff. So yeah. First, BCC with Claudio and Bryan Danielson in Top Flight, they automatically just started tearing the house down from the start. Crowd was ready to go from Jump Street. and they did some good stuff in this match too, where it's just like the outstanding aerials that you get from Top Flight.
Yes.
Danielson being able to the Top Flight, they were able to do some good offense, but then eventually Claudio like got out of the way and then got hit with a running knee on Dante from Bryan Danielson, and that's when a European uppercut was just able to just knock him silly, and that was the win for Claudio Castagnoli for BCC. And then Danielson said, "Give a round of applause for Top Flight," saying these guys are what AEW's all about. And then I heard a chant for AEW before the match even started. Said, "First Anarchy in the Arena only almost ended my career. But the reason why I'm willing to come back and fight is because I love AEW. The Young Bucks and the Elite are part of the formation of AEW, but they don't represent what it is anymore. TK has been into every AEW show since in its inception. Every Dynamite, Collision, Rampage, Ring of Honor. Bucks want to run this company, and they're not even here. So the reason why I'm willing to fight in a match that almost ended my career is because I love AEW, what it represents, and what it gives to fans, and I will do anything to protect it." So, again, going with the team AEW versus team New Elite storyline, Danielson is smashing, like absolutely taking the flag of AEW and smashing it in the center of the ring, being like, "This is what I fight for." And he did a solid job, and the crowd was riled up and behind him. And I give him credit for him to bringing up the fact of how bad he got beat up that first Anarchy in the Arena match, and he still did a second one, and now he's doing a third one. So
yeah, he got hurt in Anarchy Arena. He couldn't do Blood and Guts. They had to bring Claudio.
They had to pull him from Blood and Guts.
Yeah, they had to pull him from Blood and Guts. So this is going to be crazy.
I know. So huge, nice little promo there. Will Ospreay and Lee Moriarty also in like a really solid match too. They're really playing up the fact of Will thinking about using the Tiger Driver 91, but he remembers that he's retired it and he was against it, and he nearly lost as Lee Moriarty was able to capitalize on him debating on whether or not to use it, but eventually he was still able to work himself up with Hidden Blade and Stormbreaker to get the victory on that. But then he got taunted by Roderick Strong from the ring apron and then got blindsided by Shane Taylor afterwards. Dude, Lee and Will, like, even though they had a pretty decent amount of time, I will say not a ton, but they had a decent amount of time, and they were going all over the goddamn place.
This match killed. Will Ospreay not able to have a bad match. And okay, let me tell you what I liked mostly about this match. And it's going to be weird. This is a Floyd thing. I know everybody's not going to appreciate it or care about it. That it wasn't an epic.
No.
He just won.
It wasn't a 5-star match.
He just won. And I was just like, there are certain people in the company, based on where they're rated or whatever, he shouldn't be having epics with. He should just beat. Yes. And that's what he did. He just beat him. And that's right. That's what he should do. He should just beat this guy. And he did. I love Lee Moriarty. I think he's going to be great. But Will Ospreay at this rate should just beat him. And then he brought back my favorite Will Ospreay move, the Stormbreaker. That's my favorite Will Ospreay move. That would be his finisher in every match if it was up for me. I love the Stormbreaker. I don't really like Strikes as finisher, so the Hidden Blade generally doesn't do anything for me. He makes it work. He's great. Great people make stuff work. Great people will make great things work. So he makes it work. But I am not, my move is the Stormbreaker. Oh, God, it's such a cool move. So,
it is a good move, yeah.
Yeah, so I am happy that brought out of the bout, because I think that's the first time he's used it in AEW,
I think,
since he debuted. I didn't know if he used it in like any of those one-off matches he did. But it's since he re-debuted, it was the first time he used it. So I was very happy to see it back. He even he put the Thor, because it's the name of Thor's hammer. Thor is the newest hammer, so he put that picture.
When he upgraded his hammer for Infinity War, it was Stormbreaker. Yeah,
and because it was a God Killer,
Yep.
So
there in the trios match that went afterwards. The match itself, I never really cared about. It was what took place afterwards, where Brian Cage, after him and the Gates of Agony beat Evan Rivers and the Voros twins, they proceeded to say it's not Swerve's house anymore. Brian Cage said Swerve was selfish, him and Nana both. They just took and left us high and dry until you needed us once again. Not the kind of leadership and guidance we were looking for. They were looking for the kind of leadership and guidance that the elite EVPs Matthew and Nicholas gave. That's when Swerve's music hits. Brian Cage proceeded to walk up the ramp waiting for him, but he snuck through the crowd and he had a steel chain, took Bishop out of the ring with the chain, and then proceeded to low bridge Toa as he charged after him, and it sent him to the floor. Cage then proceeded to get back into the ring, but he got Germaned. Then hit the house call on him. He double stomped Toa. He basically beat the shit out of his entire group, and then wrapped the chain around Bishop Khan. But as that happened, though, he got shoulder blocked by Toa, and then Swerve was able to get out of the way. Though he took a cinder block against Toa, and then proceeded to smack Toa's head with a steel chair on top of the ring step. Like, he beat the shit out of what was formerly Mogul Embassy, and proceeded to look back up at Brian Cage as he ran up to the ring, and then Swerve was backstage and called him out for Dynamite in his home state of Washington. I don't know, like I said, watching that, I don't even know, like, now that the level of damage that Swerve did on Gates of Agony and leading into the match on Dynamite, like, dude, like, if I already didn't feel like much of a threat, if I already felt like Mogul Embassy wasn't much of a threat, I definitely don't feel like it right now, because Swerve murdered them. Like, he beat the shit out of them.
Yes, he did. It was funny because I had this great. I have what I think for this great comparison. It literally felt like Bebop and Rocksteady from the Ninja Turtles.
Exactly. Like, they're so buff and they're like supposed to be these giant threats, but like in the show, they're a joke.
Yeah, they're an underboss. They were. They are the underbosses, and he ran through them like the Ninja Turtles often ran through Bebop and Rocksteady. And it's kind of works because Christian is Krang, Luchasaurus, or he'd be the Shredder in this situation. So he has to work his way up. So he knocked out Bebop and Rocksteady, and now he's got Brian Cage, the big buff looking guy. He got to go through. So it was kind of funny because it's like they kind of set it up like I guess. Just being a video game person that likes video games, it looks like it's like a video game setup where it's like, oh, he has to go through all of these people to get to these people. And he did it in like the most violent way. And I love, like, he's like, I got to remind you, this is, like this, I'm still this guy. Don't forget everything that I did to get here, and that's what this moment was like. Don't forget, I'm still a sadistic bastard. I broke into someone's house and got their kid. That guy is still in me. And the fact that you're waking him back up, I was trying to be civil. I was trying to do the right thing, but no, you brought back the beast. And
exactly.
Dude, it was just such a moment, such definition for Swerve's character. And like right now, it's like I didn't think the initial hint of what they're doing, but I feel like they're doing everything right by Swerve, because I'm going to, being honest, Swerve is not the draw of the company right now. But I think they're doing everything to build him into that draw of the company.
And they are making him and Christian's feud significantly more interesting, I will say.
Yes, and it's like they're doing everything they can to make it more interesting. And it's like, of course, it's wrestling, so we kind of know what's going to go on. But not about, in this case, it's not about the result. It's very much about the journey. And I've been enjoying everything Swerve has got going on. And when he does get to someone that we actually think can beat him, it's going to make it much more compelling.
Yes. Now we have to move into Dax Harwood going up against Dynamite Kid Tommy Billington. So,
dude,
Floyd, you got to go in on this one.
Except for, Dax and like this was funny because it very much has that modern speed to it, but this was like an 80s match with a established veteran working with a young up-and-comer, and he's like, you know what, I'm going to make you look good, and that's what this match was. He worked directly to the Dynamite Kid, Tommy Billington style. Which happened. He was trained in the dungeon, so it happened to go right along with Dax's style. So they go in there and they beat the shit out of each other for, 10, 15 minutes? And then Dax just won. But anyone with eyes could see that they were doing everything they could to make this kid look good. And he was very physical. If you watched his footwork and everything, he was in the right places. The match, of course, was not perfect because there's no such thing for the most part, except, when Will Ospreay wrestles. But there's not a perfect match. But this dude, it was so physical, so compelling. No high spots, no jumping on the outside, no drop kicks, no anything like that. It was just a very physical match. Generally, not my style of match. But they made it work with it, and it was funny because I liked it. I thought it was really good. Then I got online, and dudes that can't stand Dax were talking about how much they love this match, and that's the only thing you can do when people that hate you have no choice but to give you your flowers. That was kind of cool.
Yeah. So shout out Dax for that performance for sure. And then one other thing I'll mention too with the Collision portion of the show was the Cope Open title match between Adam Copeland and Kyle O'Reilly. Of course, this was the match that was promised to Kyle O'Reilly on Dynamite the last week. They did some good wrestling, but the biggest thing that came out of this was Copeland was able to get the win. But then at one point afterwards, he helped him to his feet afterwards, and they hugged. Kyle tried to walk away, but Copeland was still holding on to Kyle's hands. And Copeland was looking confused at what the hell he was doing. And he also then proceeded to wipe a little bit of blood that was in his mouth. And they were really amping up the fact that something was not right with him. And I know something's not right with him because of what he decided to do on the Rampage afterwards and what he decided to push for Double or Nothing. Match itself was really well done. Honestly, Kyle O'Reilly and Cope did a really good job. And like I said, Copeland is consistently one of my favorite things that's in AEW right now, and he's been doing really good stuff with the TNT title.
And it was a good match. I'm not a big Kyle O'Reilly singles person, but
yes,
I'm not. But the match was fine. I have certain feelings when I'm watching shows, and they might not go along with everybody else's feelings. All I wanted to message you after he announced what he announced was I was sorry.
Oh yeah, for me,
yes, because you. Let's see. I love Copeland. I think you're a much bigger Adam Copeland fan than I am.
Yes.
And then they announced this once in a lifetime. We're not going to see this match very often for the one show you can't fucking go to.
Yep. But again, like I said, the only thing that is consistently giving me joy is because I know for a fact, and it'll be my predictions for when we do the predictions next week. I know Team AEW ain't win that match. And it's going to fucking leave me with the most bitter taste in my mouth. And I'm going to hate the entire show because of it. And I'm going to make my little sister hate me. So that's probably for the best that I'm not at the show. Because, like I said, I would be throwing shit. I guarantee you I would be throwing shit. So, yeah, it sucks. But, this is what happens, I can enjoy. They give me. This is my duality with AEW. So many amazing things that I'm, sad that I can't be at the show. But then, the moment they would come out, I would actively, I'd be like the jackass who tried to go in the ring and got fucking, form tackled by Sam Security and one of the referees. Don't do that, by the way. Don't do that.
I mean, first of all, let's be real. It looks like it hurts.
Oh, yeah. Dude looked like he blew his quads when he got in the ring.
Yeah, so it looked like it hurt. Second of all, it's fucking dangerous. Third of all, it's just it's trying to make the show about yourself. There are thousands of people there, and a lot of people watching at home, hundreds of thousands of people watching at home. They're just trying to enjoy a wrestling show. And you're like, hey, let's make it about me. Okay? No, let's not make it about you. How about you?
Yeah, we don't care about you.
Yeah, like how about you sit in your damn chair, and if you're that bored, just leave. I don't know. And if you have to imbibe that much to enjoy a show, I'd rather you just not come.
Exactly.
I mean, let's save the money on the ticket, because it's just like, if you got so drunk that you couldn't control yourself and act like a normal human, I like, stop it. Get out of here. Just go. Yeah, just don't come.
Yeah, honestly. But getting back to me, like I said, it's my duality with this company, dude, at this point. It's like, there's so much stuff I want to be there for. But, like, I know, like, the main thing that the show is pushing on TV, like, the main storyline, would infuriate me in person. So I'm glad, in a sense, I'm honestly kind of okay with not being there. Because, like I said, my sister would hate me. I don't want to ruin that. But regardless, Collision was pretty solid. So we'll move quickly into a couple of the things that we want to mention from Rampage. There was two things. One was, of course, getting back to Copeland. He cut a promo, and he was behind a barbed wire fence. And he said, Malachi, I took out Buddy Matthews and Brody King already. Now it's your turn. You want my evil, darkest side? Starting to come out, but I don't think you want it. I think I do, though. So he challenged him for the TNT Championship match. It's going to be in a barbed wire steel cage. And he wanted to see him on Dynamite to accept this challenge. Like, again, that match is going to be insane. This feud, I don't think we've had this good of a TNT Championship feud in like months, since Christian and Adam Copeland, I think.
Christian and Adam Copeland, and that's what Christian did. He elevated the TNT title. You know what I mean? Because it kind of fell off, and you're like, oh man, they're putting the title on this old guy. But it's like, dude, Christian, everything he has touched, he has made work.
Yeah.
So, kind of just believe in Christian, right? So Christian made the TNT work, and then they gave it to Edge, and Edge was going to try to elevate
Think about it, dude. Think about just the level of talent Christian has. He managed to team with a dinosaur and a talentless hack, and he made it work. Like, that's crazy. Isn't that nuts?
That is nuts. That is nuts.
But this match being announced, though, like, I could not believe. Like, I thought you'd get like a hardcore match or something like that. Barbed wire steel cage wasn't even in my wildest thoughts of what this match was going to be at Double.
Early prediction, early spoiler. I'm calling it right now. Again, no inside information. Actually, most of my predictions are wrong, but we are getting Brood Edge with Gangrel at Double or Nothing.
Dude, like, that would kill me for sure.
Dude,
level entrance.
We are getting Brood. We're having Edge come out of the a thing, because I think at the Double Nothing, I believe that's not where the Cody Vader came from. Cody Vader was first Dynamite, but so you get him up through the flames. He coming up with Gangrel, dude. We're getting Brood. We're getting Brood Cope at Double or Nothing, and it's gonna be awesome. We're gonna get the evil side of Cope, and him and Malachi Black are going to literally bleed everywhere.
Yep. So it's going to be absolutely insane.
So much blood.
Yes, I know.
Dude, between that and Anarchy in Arena.
Yeah, it's going to be a bloody night.
Yeah. And then we heard John Moxley has a match. We have no idea who's going to bleed the most.
No, it's going to be one or the other.
Yes.
And then last little bit we want to mention from Rampage, just because I'm hyped about it. Goddamn Scorpio Sky's coming back.
So, dude has had the worst injury luck.
Yes.
He comes back for a Collision, and then they start building him like they're about to build Collision, him as a significant part of Collision. And then he gets hurt again, like in a basic ass match. And so Scorpio is one of those people. Like, of course, Black don't crack. Because he's 41 years old, but he looks your age. So that's great. And, it's one of those things. Scorpio's one of those people, when you look at, he kind of has everything. And it's just like, and it has, at different times, it has worked to different levels throughout the company. And I just want to see him. I don't know how long he has on his contract or whatever. I don't know any of those specifics. But I want to know what he got left. What has he got? Does he work with this new version or this new side of the TNT? You got like 3 under belts. So he got 3 different belts that he can challenge for. I even saw a prediction that he's going to be in the learning tree. I didn't get that from this. Someone's like, oh, I think he's going to be in the learning tree. And I'm like, hey, you know what? Anything can happen. But I personally didn't, like, those dots didn't connect in my head watching those dots didn't connect in my head doing it. But yeah, I'm very happy for Scorpio that he gets to come back and smack somebody in the face.
Yeah, dude, I'm very much excited to see Scorpio Sky back, especially since one of the other members of one of the only other remaining members of SCU just got fired on Dynamite. Which now we will move in to AEW Dynamite, which took place in Everett, Washington. It opened with Bryan Danielson and Jon Moxley facing Jeff Cobb and Kyle Fletcher in a tag match. The match immediately, as the match started, Moxley got jumped at the start while he was making his entrance by Fletcher and Cobb. And then Danielson came out and started beating them up. And they were doing it very much as like a tease to Anarchy in the Arena because Danielson's music just kept going and going and going before the match officially started. So got a little bit of preview of Anarchy in the Arena, but this time with Danielson's theme because it just wouldn't shut off until the match actually officially started.
Yeah. Danielson was like, in that moment, so when they jumped him, I was like, why don't everybody do this to Mox? And then when Danielson came out and he just like immediately hitting everything, dude. So I was talking to a friend of mine and he was like, Kyle Fletcher should go to WWE. And I'm like, why? He's like, he's never going to be pushed. I was like, AEW, you don't necessarily win immediately in AEW, right?
Right.
But you know how you know that they believe in you? You're on TV.
Mm-hmm.
I doubt many people have had more televised matches than Kyle Fletcher this year.
No, Fletcher, yeah.
Yeah, I doubt many people have had more televised matches than him. So that's how you know he matters. They have 4-5 hours of TV a week, right? And
he's been at least like 40% of that.
Yeah. You got to put Chris Jericho. He needs his time. You need Team AEW versus the Elite. Swerve gets his time. Like, I have this like format. TNT title, women's title, all this stuff. There's a lot of stuff that's built in that has to have their time, right?
Yeah.
But they still somehow, whether it's tag match, 6-man, singles match where he loses again, they keep Kyle O'Reilly on. Kyle Fletcher. Yeah, too many Kyles. They keep Kyle Fletcher. They keep Kyle O'Reilly on your TV too. Yeah, that's another person they keep on your TV.
Right.
So you can tell what they think about a wrestler on whether they get TV time or not. There's one wrestler that's very not happy about never being on TV right now, and that should tell you the value of TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, so that is a special, like legit, especially what is showing is like how much they're using him.
Yeah.
Now the actual match itself was pretty dang solid. They were able to get some good offense in there. Cobb is still like a guy that like is severely underrated. I feel like Jeff Cobb, just every time they use him, he's always like physical and just like very, very consistent when he wrestles. But the BCC were able to get some work done as Kyle Fletcher came off of the top rope, but he got hit with a roundhouse kick by Danielson. Then Fletcher got hit with the Death Rider by Jon Moxley, and that was enough to get the victory. And then I don't know if you felt this way when I saw it, but Takeshita then comes in, and he's like jauntingly like jogging his way over to Danielson, like to Moxley, like he's gonna give him a hug, and he Germans him off of the top rope basically, while Jeff Cobb has Danielson pinned down in the corner, and he starts beating the shit out of him in the corner. That's when Claudio came out with a giant crowbar to chase everybody off as he helped his BCC teammates. I just like the way that fucking Takeshita walked over there. It was just like la-di-da-di-da grab suplex. It was just like there was no like trying to get in there quickly. He was taking his sweet ass time.
Let me tell you about the Takeshita. I gotta tell you, he's one of the most physically imposing dudes in wrestling without being like super jacked. He doesn't look like Will Hobbs. He doesn't look like, but every time he walks in, he's a presence. Like Okada is a pretty big dude.
Right.
Takeshita is bigger than Okada by a bit. So,
yeah.
It's like Takeshita is a huge man. I saw a report today that he wasn't really, how he's been pushed and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, dude, let me raise my hand. I'm right there with you. It was like when they were talking about Swerve's first title defense, and I was like, Takeshita. Swerve versus Takeshita. That's who I wanted it to be. Because I'm one of those people when I had no idea who Takeshita was when I first saw him. But the first time I saw him, I was like, he's going to be an AEW World Champion one day. I was like, and if not, I don't understand wrestling. That dude has everything. I'm like, he has everything. It's like, if he's not a world champion, I don't understand professional wrestling. Like, that's where it comes from. Because that dude is like, he's young, good looking, just jacked. Like he's big. He's big. I know. Like so he comes in there and sauntering, and it's like, yeah, that dude doesn't have to rush anywhere. Because when he gets there, you're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel it. Because it's like between Takeshita and Will Ospreay, right? My man crush the card is getting a little too full right there. Like
it's getting a bit everything's getting a bit tied up. Yeah.
Yes. Like when someone asks me who's my favorite AEW wrestler, I'm like, I cannot answer that question. I love what Swerve is doing. Absolutely love what Swerve is doing. I fucking love Darby, right? Love Will Ospreay on this run of in-ring performances like I've never seen. Takeshita is probably my favorite just to watch work with anyone. God, his clothesline and his drop kick. Dude, he could just do a match where he just did clotheslines and drop kicks, and I would be okay. Because that's how physical that man is. It's just like, I don't have a favorite wrestler in AEW because I have too many favorite wrestlers in AEW. Right, exactly. Like, I love everyone. That's where I'm at right now. So it's like, talent-wise, work-wise, yeah. Dude, not a better time to be a wrestling fan, as far as AEW anyway.
Yeah, there's so much that you can enjoy for certain. There's so much you can enjoy. Getting in now to the next match we had. First off, we had Adam Copeland scheduled to come out to see if Malachi Black would accept his challenge for the barbed wire steel cage match. As he was coming out to make his entrance, though, he got jumped by Brody King and Buddy Matthews, and they threw him down the ramp and into the steel steps. But Malachi Black is slowly walking to the ring as they're holding him. And he says, listen, I don't understand why you try to keep up this facade of what you think you are. And he just goes, Mr. Matthews, take his wedding ring. And they proceed to, like, Brody's choking him out while Matthews' buddy just takes off his wedding ring and hands it to Malachi Black. And then they put two steel chairs up against him in the corner. And it looked like he was going to do a running cannonball, but then Kyle O'Reilly came out and saved him. But then he got, like, lariated by Brody King. Then he got kicked in the face by Malachi Black. And then they all just collided in on Copeland. And then they had his wedding ring in Malachi Black's pocket. And that was, like I said, the stuff they're doing right now with these guys, spectacular. Like, Copeland has been, like, another, like, him and Christian Cage started the improvement of the TNT Championship with his amazing run. When they brought in Copeland, he made sure there was no drop-off, and in some instances, he's made it even better. Because the stuff that him and the House of Black are doing are spectacular. This is the House of Black, I will say. This is their best feud. this is the House of Black's best feud, and I think it's gotten them the best shine. And I am firmly comfortable in saying that. The only thing that maybe came close was Brody specifically going up against Darby Allin, just because of his iconic, like, choking him over the top. Like, and I was in Detroit when that happened for the Royal Rampage match, when he eliminates Darby Allin as the last man, as he's choking him and just hanging him over the apron, and then drops him limp. Brody and Darby's the only thing close that's come to House of Black's best feud. But as a group, this is their best feud, as they're going after Copeland. Yeah,
and this is like how, to me, if you're not presenting the House of Black as a trio, this is how they should be presented.
Yes.
You got to go through Buddy, you got to go through Brody, and then you got to go to Malachi. The big thing is, though, one of these times Malachi's got to win. So I'm not saying it's going to be this time, but, it's very important that Malachi, wins, because I think it even carries much more of a presence when Malachi's a champion, and then you have to go through those two people to get to Malachi, and he uses them to, of course, wear you down, and then, he, uses, destroys you, because,
exactly.
When we get to that point. But, no, I've really enjoyed this. This is probably, one of the best times I've enjoyed. Like, I like the House of Black. I'm one of those people. I'm not over them. I don't think they're bad or anything. I like the House of Black. I just, I do think, to a point that I could see how people could get tired of them,
Oh, sure.
Yeah. So.
But we'll move over now to the biggest, punch in the gut for sure, which was they showed clips from New Japan Pro Wrestling Resurgence, which took place last Saturday in California. It was the New Japan Strong Openweight title versus Gabe Kidd, and it was on the line in a match. And Eddie Kingston got suplexed through a table, or did it he got suplexed through a table. His leg got slammed on the barricade as he got slammed through the table. His leg got completely fucked up, and they confirmed basically, as of course, after the match, the Elite jumped him too. Young Bucks making their first appearance back in New Japan in years, as them and Jack Perry beat up on Eddie Kingston. And they confirmed that, yes, Eddie is injured. He is not cleared to be able to wrestle in Anarchy in the Arena at Double or Nothing.
Dude, I saw him in a wheelchair with a huge brace.
Yep, he had a wheelchair, a huge brace, and a cigar in his mouth on Instagram.
Yeah, because that man even looks being injured, makes it look cool somehow. And he's like, it's wrestling. I mean, that's all he says. It's wrestling. I'll be all right. Yeah,
exactly. I appreciate him for that, for his mindset there, because, dude, when I saw that injury, I'm like, he ain't gonna get cleared. And it was a fucking punch to the gut, because God, did Eddie Kingston feel like the one piece in this match that made sense to me. And also because I'm selfishly, Eddie Kingston in the first Anarchy in the Arena was the best part of that match, because he tried to set a guy on fire. And I wanted to see him in another match like that. So to see him get injured and a little under 2 weeks before the pay-per-view, absolutely killed me. It was brutal.
You're trying to rile me up. Sam already riled me up today.
I'm not trying to rile you up. I'm telling you right now, I'm not trying to take a jab at FTR. But what I'm saying is, Eddie, I've told you this.
Yeah.
I told you this last episode. I think FTR needs a different feud to get some of their heat back. Because I think that for their entire time that they've been, this is the coldest FTR has ever been. And I think you agree with me on that matter. Or at least begrudgingly.
You trying to rile me up? No, begrudgingly, yes.
Yes. So that's the reason why Eddie, to me, was the one piece in this match that, to me, meant the most. And because, yes, I do consider FTR to be, AEW ride or dies. They ain't OGs, though. And I know Eddie and FTR kind of came in around the same time. I know they came in around the same time, but
at the time,
you know how some people are.
At the time,
if you were at the Fed at any point, you ain't no G in people's minds.
At no point was Eddie Kingston the OG. but he is kind of an AEW original though.
Exactly, kind of, sort of, just because he wasn't a Fed guy.
Yeah, because he reached a whole different level once he came to AEW.
Exactly.
I get it.
So that to me was why this news killed me, and I was just like, then my mind goes like, okay, well, who do they go to replace him? Like, do you want to go with like who you thought before we get into the main, like when we get later on the show, who you thought was going to be replacing him?
So, first of all, I didn't know he was out. Again, with the person they used, I figured they could just protect him in a Rock and Brawl situation. But then they announced earlier, and then my first thought went straight to Hangman. Because they had checked, they had kind of built it up already because he was suspended from the Elite, so it was kind of, it just made logical sense that Double or Nothing, you got to have Hangman on Double or Nothing. It just feels weird him not being on Double or Nothing since he was at the original show. He was a big part. The original Casino Battle Royale, he was there. So I thought it was Hangman. My backup was Kota Ibushi just because of the Kenny Omega connection. And if you wanted to bring Kota Ibushi back slowly, have him in like, it's not an easy match by any way, but you can protect a lot of people in those kind of street fight things. So those were my two thoughts. I never thought of the name that I thought, because as far as the name that they announced, I thought couldn't walk. So
exactly.
Yeah. So
yep.
Yeah.
Moving in though, we then had tag match between the Young Bucks and Christopher Daniels and Matt Sydal. Not gonna lie, after the Eddie Kingston news got announced, I just didn't watch this match because I was just like, fuck y'all. Like, I got nothing I can enjoy right now. I'm sad. I'm bitter. I didn't watch this match when it was on TV live. I had to watch it the next day to actually sit down and watch the match for the show.
You know what's funny? I saw the end of it. I was on the phone with JR, and he was working out or something, and he distracted me, and I didn't really watch the match. Then I saw the end and what they did, and I was like, I don't feel like I need to watch the whole match. So
really didn't know.
It's like, I feel like I'm okay.
Yeah. Shout out CD. I'm always happy to see CD just because, I love that dude. But, I just didn't have much interest in it. It was a match. It was fine.
At no point did we think that any other result was going to happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and plus they decided to make the brilliant decision to put Jack Perry on commentary, which did not help the match in any slight.
Especially for you, because
Well, yeah, but also too, I mean, like, while his promos have gotten slightly better, fucking don't put this kid on commentary. Jesus Christ, he's terrible.
Oh, he was he did do something awesome though.
Oh, he actually became the first person to use Woo Energy.
Let me tell you. You want to get heat in wrestling? You pick on everybody's favorite person. Tony Schiavone. That's the one. Hey. That's the one Tony no one hates.
Exactly. It's not like it's the first time that he's picked a fight with Schiavone. Apparently, he cussed him out before.
Yeah. Hates that guy.
This ain't even the first time.
Yeah, hates that guy. So just poured the drink on his head and walked away. Just gave him the thumbs up and clapped, like hey, yeah.
So then the Young Bucks proceeded to fire Christopher Daniels because of everything that happened, and said, "Don't worry, you get a good severance package for the next 30 days. We've got a security escort for you out of the building." And then that was when Jack Perry dumped the Woo Energy over Tony Schiavone's head, and we'll just move over to they listen. AEW knew that they were trying to make me turn off the TV with the amount of stuff that was happening, like back to back. Oh, I don't get Eddie Kingston at Double or Nothing. Oh, now I got the fuck Bucks doing bad matches that I don't care about. Oh, I got Jack Perry on commentary being an annoying shit. Thank you for giving me Timeless Tony Storm and Mariah May immediately afterwards to make sure I didn't change the channel. Because if you didn't give me those two, I don't even know what I would have done. You made sure to give me my girls that I love so much to make sure I kept watching. To make sure so they basically had them do a promo backstage and say Mariah May, Luther, and Saraya were all banned during Timeless Tony Storm's match against Harley Cameron tonight. And she, dude, every time Tony Storm cuts a promo, I feel so much like elation because she's spectacular. Like I love everything she does with this character, and her calling out Harley Cameron and then Serena Deeb's sob story. Just so fucking good. So good.
She's amazing. I mean, like, she knows what the character is now. You know, she does all her character work, promos, all that stuff. She does that, and she's amazing. And then she goes in and she wrestles like her. You know, she wrestles like she knows how to wrestle. I think the character has finally found its perfect balance. I think this is peak Timeless Toni Storm. So whenever they get the person that you think can actually beat her, again, this is kind of another lame duck title defense. No one thinks Serena Deeb's winning this match, but it's been very entertaining up until then.
Exactly. We then had Malachi Black backstage with his wedding ring, and he was like, everything that's holding you back is in such a small little trinket. And he said, barbed wire cage match? I knew there was a part of you that still existed. And he, of course, accepted it and said, you will bend the knee to the House of Black when I beat you. I just, like, again, Malachi, just the level of, like, sinister, like, promo with him just playing with the wedding ring. I love that shit.
And they always got to elevate it.
Oh, yeah.
His matches,
and like I said, that's
easily,
what's helped.
Like, taking the TNT title is enough, right? And he's like, no, I don't want to take TNT title. I want to beat you, take your title, and then make you bend the knee to me.
Exactly.
Like, dude, it's always another level, and I love that.
Exactly. Next, Hook made his return, quickly beat up Sebastian Wolf, and then called out Chris Jericho, and Learning Tree came out with Big Bill, and he said, oh, it's so great to have you back after you essentially hit yourself in the face with a baseball bat. Just glad that, you called me out, even if it means if I had to share the spotlight with somebody. And Hook then proceeded to be, I want all the spotlight on you getting your ass beat by me for the FTW championship. And Jericho would be like, this isn't a fighting moment. It's a teaching moment. I want to teach you that the world doesn't revolve around you, Hook. Be less selfish, like me. And he said, this is for the world title, not for the Hook title. And then he said, basically, on Collision, you're going to have to go through a qualifying match. And if you win, then maybe you can face me for the FTW title. And then Hook goes, yeah, that sounds good. And you know what else sounds good? And then he takes the microphone and beats him over the head with it. And that's when Big Bill grabs him. And that's long enough for Jericho to get a cheap shot. And then Shibata runs out and chases out Jericho. And then pump kicks Big Bill, knocking him out of the ring, which was like so dope. So yeah, solid enough stuff right there. We eventually got I think we did get the match announced of what was going to be the match for Collision that Hook has to win in order to get into the FTW Championship match. I think they already announced that, if I'm not mistaken.
I didn't see what the match was. They might have, but I was
going to say, I thought they did. Maybe they didn't. Yeah, it doesn't seem like they did actually yet. So that'll be announced, I assume, later. They haven't announced it yet, but no, they didn't announce that, but they had plenty of time to plug the new Young Bucks shoes. Fucking.
But let me tell you, I want to just say a small thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Rich Latta is 100% always like never count out Chris Jericho, and that's about a match.
Yes,
you have to apply that to this storyline because people were sick of him, and he is completely twisting this, and he has made this thing compelling.
Yep.
He has went from go away heat to I want to see you get your ass beat heat. Yeah. And he has flipped it. And this is what someone that has been doing this as long as Jericho has done. This is something like his last few interviews, how he has flipped this. You can show kids and be like, look at what he did. And Jericho can probably tell you every little thing he did to make this work. And it seems so simple to us watching it, but he's probably doing little details that you don't even know that you're reacting to. And this is why you keep Chris Jericho on your TV. Because he's not just learning when you wrestle. You're not going to just learn from him. You're not just going to learn from him by, him talking in the back and telling you how to prove your character. Dude just took something. This dude was getting please retire chants at Dynasty.
Yeah.
And we got it a little bit, and then he flipped the please retire chance. I know you want me to retire because you know as soon as I retire, I'm gonna go into every Hall of Fame. Yes. This is so fucking brilliant. Like, I've honestly been like I've had different times where I was like, man, Chris Jericho is fucking amazing. Right now, it's probably the height of my Chris Jericho is fucking amazing because I was there at St. Louis, and that was not booing a heel. That was someone they were fucking tired of seeing.
Exactly.
And dude has flipped it because now they're booing a heel. You look at Christian, you look at Chris Jericho. Masters of their craft when it comes to this heel work thing. They don't want you to cheer them. They don't want you to like them. They're doing everything they can. How they dress, how they speak, how he holds the mic, his tone of voice. Everything is to get them to boo you. This is how you get the person that you're wrestling over.
Yes, dude. I mean, like I said, it's like I could be as tired as Jericho as all I want. But god damn it, dude, if he doesn't, like, is it a complete reinvention, like, to the level of what he used to do? No. But he's still doing good shit. That's the problem. And you can't deny that this isn't good. Like, is it the best thing in AEW? No, not even close. But it's still damn good. And it's still got a good reason as to why it should be on TV. And also, in the ratings this week, he did the best numbers in the demos. Like, he had the best rating pop out of the entire show. That's saying something, I think.
Hey, Twitter isn't real. Twitter
I know.
Isn't real. That's just another moment of that. Twitter would make you think every time he came on the screen, everyone was turning the channel.
Exactly. We then had the AEW World Championship Eliminator match between Swerve Strickland and Brian Cage. Pretty solid match, I would think. Not too bad. Brian Cage was able to get some good work in there, using his strength against Swerve Strickland. But Swerve was getting some like nice movements, getting just a 450 splash that he got knocked in there. He got powerbombed twice, got set up for the drill claw, but still got out of there in order to like take his arm and then just stomp on it backwards and then hit the house claw to win it, which I thought was a really cool finish. And then afterwards, Swerve wasn't done. He proceeded to grab some steel chairs and beat up Brian Cage's shoulder. But that was when Christian Cage came out. And then Nick Wayne blindsided Swerve. And then Killswitch comes in, and they all start teaming up on him. And then Nick Wayne made sure to show he had an 8x10 photo, and it was Swerve's family. And they smashed a family portrait over the head of Swerve. And he's got glass going over his eyebrow, and he's dripping blood. Christian then proceeded being like, "You embarrassed my son, Nick Wayne. You attacked him at his gym in his home right down the street last year." He's like, "You remember that? And then you embarrassed my son. Now I'm forced to embarrass you. You think your daughter's proud? Maybe I should ask her if she's proud of her absentee father." He then takes the photo and smears it over Swerve's bloody head. And he says, "I took your blood, and in 2 weeks, I take the World Heavyweight Championship from you." Again, that's just Christian being damn good. He's making sure to get some real heat in this feud, considering, like we said, this is not the focus for AEW. He is not the lead draw right now going into Double or Nothing. But damn it, if Christian and Swerve aren't busting their ass to make this feud very interesting, despite the fact that we know Swerve's going to retain the title at Double or Nothing. I give them all the credit in the world. And like I said, I like what they're doing. And they're going to make this match still a damn good one. And the feud is being cranked up as things continue, which I do appreciate. I'm glad that this is not just, just a match. They're actually putting some real heat behind it. So I appreciate that at the very much.
Yeah, I'm definitely just when I first heard it was going to be Christian, I thought about it being Christian. I was just like, it's Christian. And it's just like they've done nothing but outperform my expectations. And one of those things I think most wrestling fans have to do, not just me, is you got to be willing to admit when you're wrong or admit when something is working that you didn't think was going to work. And that's what this is. It's something that I didn't think was going to work that has done nothing but work.
Yeah. No, 1,000%. We then had Hook and Shibata backstage and bent basically, I don't care if the numbers are stacked against me. I will go through anybody to get my hands on Jericho. And Shibata goes, even me? He's like, I want a shot at Jericho. He says, you know what? Hook versus Shibata to get their hands on Jericho? That's fine by me. And then Samoa Joe shows up being like, what is this? Who are you? He's like, I thought you were something special not too long ago. Week after week, you're falling for the same trap, and Jericho's got you at your own man's neck. Maybe if you two stop playing yourselves, you might actually be dangerous around here. And Hook is just like up in each other's face. Like, Joe is so fucking outstanding. Like, god damn it, if that dude is still not one of the most intimidating dudes on the roster. Hook then proceeded to say, I'll fight you, and just like screaming him as he walks away. And then Shibata, with his Siri on his phone, goes, I've never, like, no man that big should wear a floral pattern.
He's
like,
too big to be wearing a floral pattern. I'm calling
fucking broke me.
I'm calling Shibata out for fat shaming. Okay, I'm not just kidding. No, that was the funniest. Like, there were some funny things in the show. I thought Jericho was funny. I busted out laughing. I called Crystal in the room, and I played it. She started laughing. I was like, you don't even have to like wrestling. That was just a funny fucking line. And coming from that phone, it just worked. It worked.
Right.
Yeah, it just worked.
No. It worked really, really well for sure. We then had the grudge match between Toni Storm and Harley Cameron. It was okay. If I'm being fair, it was okay. Like, as much as I love those two, it was all right. Like, it wasn't anything insane. Serena Deeb came out and she had her flag for her dojo, and she was distracting Toni Storm. And that was when Harley Cameron was able to get a little bit of momentum. However, eventually Toni hit the sky high, and then Storm Zero as she like fakes her out and then gets the Storm Zero planted, and she gets the victory as she starts like looking evilly at Serena Deeb up on the ring at the top of the ramp. She's literally just going, you, like, fucking like classic shit, and it's just very funny. Like I said, this match was fine. As much as I love that, like Serena Deeb, Timeless Toni Storm, Harley Cameron, Mariah May, they've been using some of my favorite girls recently in terms of like AEW women on the roster. But this match itself, like, it was fine. Well, like, I thought Mariah May and Harley Cameron got to do a lot more in their match last week, but this was all right.
Yeah, I'm like, you're looking at the extremes of talent level, right?
Yes.
Harley, she's been working for a while, but she's still fairly new to the, singles wrestling and all that stuff. And then you got Toni, who's the champion right now. So
exactly.
I think they found a good balance in the middle of where they were. And, and I think Harley will come along and be like, you're going to put on good matches. But this is what it could be. This is what it needed to be. And yeah, but it's not something like in July 1st, you try to talk to me about this match and I'll be like, did that match happen?
Right.
Yeah. Like,
exactly.
Yeah, you would have to.
It's not one that you're going to be like thinking about for too much.
Yes.
But moving forward, then we had backstage. We had Roderick Strong with the Undisputed Kingdom, and they were having a face off with Will Ospreay. And Ospreay basically being like, "I hate that you guys are so comfortable around me with that title, because if I lunge at you, these guys will grab me. Or maybe it's because of the fact that you guys know that I retired the Tiger Driver 91. Like, why are you playing these mind games that you want me to unretire this move? Because you're playing them piss poor." It's like, I've done that move to people that I love and people I respect, but I do not respect you, and you've never respected me, so I've got none for you. And then Roderick then proceeds to be like, you're so talented in the ring, but you're an idiot outside of the ring. And it's like, you're still that little child that you've been and that you'll always been. You don't deserve this championship because I overcame a neck injury that almost took me out. I don't care what anyone else thinks. I know what you are, and you're a fraud and a child. And then Ospreay proceeds to say, I'm going to take the one thing that makes you super important and show you why I'm on another level. Ospreay did a really good job in this promo. I like the fact that Roderick went at the fact that like he's kind of childish and like used his old. Listen, we all know what Will Ospreay used to be like on Twitter for a while. But man, like the match is going to be a banger for sure. But like, Undisputed Kingdom just needs Adam Cole to fully be able to do shit, so that way they can actually have some legit heat going for themselves, for sure. All of them holding championships helps a ton, but man, when we get Adam Cole consistently doing stuff for the Undisputed Kingdom, and hopefully soon enough we get MJF coming back to feud with Adam Cole, like that's gonna make this shit so much better. But I know that when Roderick Strong and Will Ospreay go up against each other, there's a very good chance it's gonna be the best match on the show.
It is likely, because pretty much the best match I've ever seen is the last Will Ospreay match that he wrestled. That's just kind of how it works.
It's just how it goes.
Yeah, so he's going to take this to another level that you didn't think existed. He's going to do that, and you're going to be like, well, shit. And you're going to be like, oh, yeah. And it's like, duh. You're like, duh, this is what Will Ospreay does. You're going to act shocked, but you're not shocked because Will Ospreay does this. So I'm looking forward to this match at the show. It's going to kill. He's going to get his back broken a lot of times, and it's going to be fun.
Yeah, for sure. Next, we have, honestly, what I thought was one of the best points of the entire show, which was the TBS Championship contract signing for the championship match between Willow Nightingale and Mercedes Moné. Man, when I tell y'all that this crowd was all the way for Willow, and they did not want to hear shit from Mercedes Moné. They did not want to hear it. Willow came out and was doing great stuff, talking about the championship and how much she's been building a legacy built on fighting, hard work, dedication to overcoming obstacles, and then proceeded to be like, I'm not going to let you walk into AEW and take away this title that matters to me. And then Willow gets told by Mercedes that legacy to me, 2013, you were still training and I was changing this industry forever in Brooklyn, breaking down doors and breaking glass ceilings. You wouldn't be here without me, but there's a difference between being great and being the greatest of all time. And then proceeded to be like showing why, you see me at red carpet sitting courtside. That's what a CEO does. And I should be the new face of TBS. And then that's when Willow goes, you keep believing that because the last time we wrestled, I walked away a champion and you didn't walk out at all, which was like the best burn of the night. Mercedes then slaps her in the face, tried to take the TBS championship and swing it at her, but she ducked it, and then Willow powerbombed her through the table, and the crowd went ballistic. They were so hyped for Willow, which honestly, I love that for her. I love that for her that they've got so much riding behind her. And Mercedes was getting some nice little shots in there too. Clearly leaning more so towards heel, which I think is what she needs to be. And making the match, dude, people cared about the match. You saw the way the crowd was reacting. Like, I love that for these two because I think they should get a big moment for Mercedes' first match in AEW and Willow defending the TBS championship. This title has been kind of like freeform since Jade Cargill lost it, and now we're here now for this belt, and this match is going to be huge.
Dude, I mean, I fell in love again. Let me just tell you this. I did not think I could have a higher feeling for this woman that they call Willow Nightingale. It is true love. And it's funny because I saw her the first time, of course, and this is just me being 100% honest, do what you want, just thought she was very, very attractive, right?
Right.
Then I saw her wrestle, and I was like, she can wrestle. Then she had the happy joy, kind of, hey, I'm happy to be here kind of gimmick. Never liked that gimmick, ever, on anybody. Didn't like it on Bayley, didn't like it on, very rarely have I ever liked it. The one person I ever liked it on didn't actually stay in AEW very long, so I didn't really like it. But then I think it was like, she had some good matches, but I think it was like that first street fight she did. And I was just like, oh, there's more here, right? Because I'm not one of those people that once I see somebody, I go watch a lot of their old stuff. There's too much new wrestling. I don't got time to go back and watch old wrestling. Just don't.
Right.
So but ever since then, it has been nothing like her. It's just been like, and I'm just talking completely. I still think she's gorgeous, but it's all about her in-ring work. It's all about her promos. It's all about this. She has elevated. It's like, Orange Cassidy started as this thing, and then it evolved into this other thing.
Yeah.
This match with Mercedes in that line last night, that vicious fucking line, that was vicious Willow. We haven't seen this Willow. She was vicious. She's like, I am respect you, and we're gonna wrestle, and the best person's gonna win. No, this was Killer Willow. I didn't hurt you on purpose, but you still got hurt wrestling me. You didn't walk away. Like, you didn't walk away after facing me. Damn! Like, oh my God! I'm like that look, that gif of the guy like doing the damn look. Like, damn! That was me when that happened. I was like, oh shit! I'm like, Mercedes might swing on her for real. I'm like, dude. And then she picks her up because the fit Willow had all night was nice. She picks her up, and there's this like hesitation to hold where she gets her ready, and like she knows it, and it just felt like, even though you kind of like know the thing, like, oh, she's just trying to make sure she has a good grip so she can control on it down. It bring more as, dude, I want you to think about what's about to fucking happen to you. I'm gonna hold you up here a little bit, and there's nothing you can do about it. I am bigger than you. I am stronger than you. There is not shit you can do about it. I completely have control of you. Boom! Right through the table. Dude. Level of excitement of that match. 3 notches. Easily. 3 notches.
Yeah.
Dude, this match got some heat. It got some heat.
For sure.
I like that heat.
Absolutely. And we get to the main event. Now, this show had a tremendous amount of overrun, and TK made sure to mention that beforehand.
Yeah, that was what I'm saying. This is a whole nother segment. This is like, I know. Yeah, this is like
legitimately. We get into the main event of Dynamite, the AEW Continental Championship being defended by the Rainmaker Kazuchika Okada versus Dax Harwood. Like this match a lot. I'll leave this to Floyd actually to talk about this. Your boy getting a title match, a singles titles match, no less.
Dude. I was very happy. Because, like I said, the occasional Dax singles match is my shit. I love the occasional Dax singles match. So I'm watching him against Okada. Okay, again, just like Tommy Billington, Okada works Dax speed, right? I'm not saying Dax couldn't adjust to a high flyer or Ray Phoenix or whatever, but I think Dax rings especially talented when he works with someone that works a similar pace. Not a similar style as the type of moves, just a similar pace where he doesn't have to kind of rush or anything. And this match was like the match, like one of those matches you put on at a wrestling school. Like it looked like a fight. It looked like a struggle at every point. It looked like Dax was trying to drop Okada on his head. Okada was trying not let Dax drop him on his head. Okada was trying to clothesline him. Dax was knew that move was coming, so he wasn't. And it was just like every strike was physical. Every move felt like like I said, they were it never felt like a dance at any point. It just felt like there was the struggle all the way through, and the storytelling that, like, Okada Dax is avoiding the clothesline. Okada knows what Dax moves are, and he's avoiding all of Dax moves. Like, Dax didn't get to hit the regular pile driver. He had to hit Okada's tombstone pile driver on him because he knows Okada so well that he didn't want to get hit with the tombstone pile driver because he knows the Rainmaker was coming after. Try to get him in the sharpshooter. Did you see that little moment with Okada? And they called it on the thing, but it was like I didn't even need volume to see Okada never letting himself flatten out in the sharpshooter. He stayed curved because he didn't want the full effect of the sharpshooter move. And oh my God, it was like, I'm nerding out here because it's like when you talk about Will Ospreay, Takeshita, all the people I talk about, they are amazing. But this is what happens when you got two people and they're like, we're going to make this seem, this is going to be a fight. This is going to be a simulated fight. This is going to be realistic. I thought it was great. And you know what? Dax kind of was getting the best of Okada, just like old school wrestling. The face always gets the best of the heel. Okada grabs the belt, gets the referee to turn down. Dax is getting in the ring, kicks the ropes, Boom, Rainmaker. The one thing Dax couldn't prepare for is Okada cheating. Right. And 1, 2, 3, done. I mean, I'm not gonna. Was this match a 5-star match? No. Was it like a 4.5? No. It was just a really fucking good, entertaining wrestling match.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what rating you put on it. It was just a really good, entertaining wrestling match. And I don't like. And if you like, again, I have some controversial takes on my wrestling. What I like in wrestling sometimes. But it's like, if you just didn't think this match was, okay to good, I'm not saying you got to think it's perfect. I ain't got to think it's the best thing. But it was a good wrestling match, a good competitive wrestling match. And at no point in time did I think Dax was going to win, but the struggle made it seem like he could.
Right. Yeah. No, they did good stuff there, and like I said, if people forget how good Dax can be in a singles match too, like this guy's proven that many times over. And he just went up against Okada, and he definitely held his own in that regard. And they did a good job in this match. And like I said, the one thing they weren't expecting was Okada to cheat, and he cheated to get the victory. And that's when the Elite come in to beat up on Dax Harwood, and Bryan Danielson and Cash Wheeler came in, but the odds were still stacked against them. And then, out of fucking nowhere, Darby Allin's music hits, and he jumps into the ring. He beats the shit out of Jack Perry with a skateboard, and I immediately, oh my God, my savior. The one thing that could make me feel something about this feud that I don't care about, and this storyline that I wish ended, Darby Allin. Out of everybody else this guy is an AEW OG through and through. This guy, more than anybody, represents AEW to the highest nth degree. And he's in there, and they brawl, and it's official. Darby Allin will be replacing Eddie Kingston as the 4th member of Team AEW in Anarchy in the Arena at Double or Nothing. This guy literally went after the show went off the air and said, he's coming off of his foot that he broke before he left to go climb Mount Everest, which he couldn't do anymore because of his broken foot, thank God. Then he got hit by a bus, proceeded to get hit by a bus in New York as he was crossing the street. Still went to go see a Broadway show that night because he's a psycho. And then he even mentioned how he was under the ring waiting for his cue, and the crossbeam from the ring kind of bounced and hit him in the back of the head after the superplex that happened in that match. So he's like, I got to go get checked out actually for a split second. Let's be frank right now. He says he's not 100%. He's not even close to that. I'm almost certain. But because Anarchy in the Arena is such insanity, and there's levels where you can kind of hide away for a little bit while a bunch of other people do some shit, Darby is a great person to be in this match as an OG, because he could do a giant dive 2 minutes into the match and then be knocked out and then have to be taken to the back and then be protected basically and then come back later. Because I love Darby more than anything. He's one of my favorite wrestlers currently, and one of my favorite wrestlers in AEW. I named my cat literally after him. But dear God, do I fear for this man's life. So I am so stoked that he's going to be there. Kills me I can't see him in Anarchy in the Arena live. But it's so good to have him in this match. It makes it so much more it makes it feel so much more complete in terms of what this match is set up as to being. So however they want to protect him in this match, though, just to make sure he's able to go through and do everything. I'm just so happy he's in this match and he's able to be on the show, even though maybe safety wise, maybe he shouldn't, but God knows you ain't going to stop him.
I mean, dude, I did a 180 on Darby at some point in my life. And it's shit like this. This dude has every reason not to show up.
Yeah.
Every reason not to show up. He's going to be there.
Oh, yeah.
Every reason. And he's going to do something. And he's probably going to go through real glass at a point. Because that's Darby Allin. And I say it, and he has a broken foot, it never even crosses your mind that he's not going to do it. This, though, is the heart and soul of AEW. He really is.
Mm-hmm.
He leaves it out there every time. He doesn't have bad matches. He doesn't do anything. So when you say, hey, who's the face of AEW? Who's the guy that you want representing AEW? There is no better name than Darby Allin.
Yeah, no, there's not a single person, dude. He is head and shoulders in terms of representing the company. He is like the guy to do that because, I mean, he lives, breathes, bleeds, and sweats this company. Like, this is he will not leave to go anywhere else. Darby, he's going to be an AEW guy until he dies. So, God, it's so cool to have him on this match. And yeah, I mean, huge announcement for this match to reinvigorate this Anarchy in the Arena match that now has plenty of reason to be people to be excited about this match. But that's how they closed out AEW Dynamite. Now, of course, going into this Saturday, it's going to be another Collision and Rampage cross show. So, in terms of the matches that they've already announced, we've got plenty of stuff. We've got let me pull this up real quick. We've got matchup between. First we're gonna have on Rampage we're gonna have Roosh in action. That was like one of the few things that was announced on Rampage.
It's excited for that. I'm excited for Roosh to come back. I do hate that they got rid of his assistant.
Yeah.
I mean I get it. There's a reason for everything. There's a reason I don't know, but I wish they hadn't. I liked him.
For sure. And then another match that was announced for Rampage, Deonna Purrazzo versus Robin Renegade. She gets another match on Rampage. On Collision. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say birthday buddy to Deonna Purrazzo,
yeah.
So yeah.
For sure. We then have Will Ospreay versus Shane Taylor on Collision, which will be huge. And then we're going to have another match for Collision, which is, just getting it real quick, Serena D versus Anna Jay. And that's the only match that I believe that's been announced. And, of course, Hook will be doing his qualifier match for the FTW Championship match that he's got to fight through to be able to face Chris Jericho. So yeah, we got those matches as announced for Collision going forward.
Yeah, Collision looks like it's going to be exciting. Of course, if I know my favorite tag team in the world, they're going to be somewhere around there, if not there. And yeah, just as we're building to it, because it's like we got the next Collision after this one. I will be at Collision in Las Vegas. I am super excited. Does not feel like Double or Nothing's next week.
No, it's wild.
It does not feel like it's next week, but it is. I'm excited pretty much for every match on the card. Did we talk about the new match they just announced tonight?
Yeah, they just announced. TK literally just tweeted out a match for Double or Nothing. It's going to be Jon Moxley versus Konosuke Takeshita in an IWGP Heavyweight Championship Eliminator match. So Moxley and Takeshita in a match of who's going to bleed more.
Dude, so, if there was a power ranking on what's going to be the best match on this card, right? So right now I got the power ranking just because of his output so far. You got to have Will Ospreay and Roddy Strong at 1, right?
Right.
As far as the power rankings. I don't know where you go for 2. Do you go Willow versus Mercedes? Because it's a Mercedes first match. They're not going to leave anything in the back.
For real.
They're going to throw it all out there, right? Then you got Mox versus Takeshita. Go back and watch the Dynamite match. Banger. It was one of the matches that made me like, oh my God, this motherfucker's for real when I'm talking about Takeshita. So it's like, when you talk about just wrestling, right?
Dude, the pay-per-view is stacked.
And then you talk about the spectacles. You got a barbed wire cage match and Anarchy in the Arena.
Yep.
Dude,
it's
you want to talk about the smorgasbord that is professional wrestling? Dude, if you watch Double Nothing and you you watch the whole show and you're like, there's nothing on the show I'm interested or excited about, just quit watching wrestling.
Yeah, I can tell you right now, dude. There's plenty. There's specific stuff that I'm not looking forward to on this show, and it's very specific to me. But if I was to say there was nothing else on this card that wasn't immediately holy shit, this is going to be amazing, I'd be kidding myself.
Yeah, just like I said, if you look at this card, that we've seen, and we haven't even talked about the 6-man title match that's probably going to be Bullet Club Gold versus Death Triangle. We haven't even talked about that at all. That's not even talked about, right?
Yep.
If you don't see anything on this show that excites you, AEW is not for you.
Yeah.
It's just not for you. And it's fine. I will never be mad at someone for their taste. You don't have to like everything I like. But this is such a representation. This show is such a representation of what 2024 professional wrestling is. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying I don't understand how you could not like it. There is something for everybody on this show.
Yeah. No, 1,000%. And it's got me so excited for Double or Nothing. It's got me so excited for this card. And like I said, it's got me super pumped for y'all that you're going to be able to be at this show. I just wish y'all could meet these wrestlers.
Okay. Information that I received that is not official anyway. It may be that the reason that we're probably not getting these is Collision. Apparently, just it doesn't seem to work doing Fan Fest and Collision, and that's disheartening for me. I say this: if you could bring someone in like Hot Spots, or bring someone in, or bring the StarCast people in, or outsource it in some way.
Pro Wrestling Tees guys.
Yeah, Pro Wrestling Tees guys. Run a Pro Wrestling Tees convention during Vegas and just kind of loan out your wrestlers when they have time. I just think that is better than not doing anything. Because I don't know a person that has bought this VIP package. I know someone has bought it. I know someone has bought it out there. I'm saying I don't know one person that has bought this VIP package. And I am in the circle of the hardcore of the hardcores.
Yes.
That is my circle. My circle are the day one AEW fans, the all in London people. I'm in that circle. No one's buying this. Because even on the thing, you're not even getting a meet and greet before the show. You're paying $150 and not even getting a meet and greet.
The meet and greet you're getting is with a replica championship.
Yeah, with the title. Dude, you're not even getting the thing with the... Could it be the champ? Could it just be Swerve there? It's like, hey, you get a picture with Swerve. You don't get an autograph or anything. You can't bring your own stuff. You get a picture with Swerve. Okay, that makes sense. I'm just saying. Yeah, it's disappointing. It's of course it's not affecting me going to shows. I mean, dude, I'm going to that show, but it is affecting how much money I spend with AEW.
Yes,
because literally, let's just say there's a figure I don't have. I don't have the Acclaimed yet, right? And they were gonna do a meet and greet at the show. I'm going to.
So you can get it signed.
I would get it so I can get it signed. They go together. There's some people that are like, oh, I wasn't going to Vegas, but I want to meet MJF.
Yeah.
So they fly to Vegas and they're like, oh, since I'm already here, let's go to the show. So that's more tickets to the show you could sell. It's all working together. That's what I'm saying. It all works together. This is not just a bunch of people bitching that they don't get to meet wrestlers. It actually benefits you too.
Yeah. No, 1,000%.
Yeah.
1,000%. So, yeah, again, it's disheartening. It's sad, but we're not going to dwell on it too much. We don't have much else in terms of other news. Obviously, there's just, like I said, once again, if Floyd, you want to mention it for the list of Collision shows in Arlington when they go on sale?
Yes, all 6 shows. There are 5 Collisions and 1 is ROH Death Before Dishonor. They pre-sale is June 4th, officially on sale June 6th. Again, I got questions out on whether is there going to be a 6-pack that you can buy where you can just go to all shows or whatever. It would seem insane that they not have something like that, like a combo that you can buy. But I'm waiting. It's not up where I can see prices. I plan on putting that information out. I want to see as many people that I can there from Texas, wherever you're from. I want to see as many people as I can there because it's gonna be fun. Residency, man.
Yeah,
and we need to get loud. We need to get super loud, and we need to make it feel like Full Sail. We need to get somebody over. We need to get somebody that's not over. So let's do that.
There you go.
All right.
Well, I think that's going to do it for this episode of All Things Elite. Guys, thank you so much for tuning into this podcast every single week. Be sure to tune in next week. We're going to be doing, of course, our preview for Double or Nothing and give our predictions. If you guys enjoy the show, first of all, thank you for listening all this way through. And be sure to download this fine show wherever you get your podcasts, whether it be Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, Spotify, whatever the case may be. Give us a share with your friends, family, coworkers, whoever you wish, and rate, review, and subscribe so you don't miss a single episode of the pod. You can also follow us on Twitter at ATElitePod. Follow at Social Suplex, who make this show possible and have a bunch of other great podcasts that you should be checking out. I am at Austin Sumowicz, SZUMOWICZ, and Floyd is at Floyd Johnson Jr. on Twitter. I will pass it off to my buddy Floyd as he takes us home for this episode of All Things Elite.
As we celebrate Floyd's second Christmas, I want to tell you all I appreciate you listening to the show. And as we get to this 5-year anniversary of Double or Nothing, it has been my absolute pleasure for doing the show as long as I have. And I thank Austin because, it was kind of like, it was very unstable before you came on. I know I talk about that all the time, but my affection and for you to come in and bring a stable, professional-sounding voice to the show, it was amazing. And so we're gonna keep doing it as long as you keep listening. I know one day Austin's gonna blow up. He's gonna go work for ESPN, and he's not gonna be able to do this show anymore. And I know that's gonna happen. But I'm gonna, you know what? This is the whole thing. I could either be dreading that, or I can enjoy the moment. And that's what I do with every AEW show. That's what I do with wrestling. I still feel like wrestling's one of the hottest things that it's been in a long time. So I'm just going to enjoy every moment. So that's what I remind all my friends. When you're living in the good times, don't worry about what's coming next. Just keep your feet where they are and enjoy what's going on. And with that, I will leave you how I always leave you. Whether it's home, work, or school, always do your best to be elite.